how it is. Only the powerful know what power is. We power lift the planet, god damn it. You feel the power shift. Prowess, perfect form, no cowardice. For hours lift weights, create greatness like the Maoris did. Soul Jack, tell him straight, mate, you don't know Jack. Strong enough to lift the whole car up with no jack. Jack the weights up until he's so jacked that when he does push-ups, he just pushes down and the globe cracks.
What is going on, guys? Hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to the channel. While you're there, be sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel and share with everyone you know. Last Sunday just gone, 20th of December, I competed in my first ever Strongman competition. I competed at Progressive Strongest Novice Man 2020. There was about 12 to 15 guys in total, which is less than what everyone was expecting. I think because of all the COVID restrictions, the numbers went down, but there was still enough people to have a really good competition. So for this video today, I'm going to explain to you how each event worked, then I'm going to show the event, then afterwards I'm going to talk about how I did, what I could have improved on, what I learned, that type of thing. But first, I just want to put a big thank you out there to the guys at Progressive Training Systems for putting on this amazing competition. They did a really good job at making sure everything ran smoothly and also at making sure that everyone stuck to COVID restrictions and guidelines. It was a really good day. Everyone there was very supportive, helpful and friendly. There was no audience, although there was a live stream, but there was no physical audience, so we all had to cheer each other on and all the guys did an amazing job. Everyone cheered for everyone. So leading up to this competition, I was faced with a lot of struggles, just like everyone else around the world. First of all, the main thing that happened for everyone, obviously, was COVID struck, gyms closed, and it took a while for me to be able to get hold of some equipment, which I'm extremely grateful for. I know there's people out there that weren't even able to get any sort of equipment. The next thing after that was that just as I felt like I was about to be ready for the competition, they announced that it would be cancelled or postponed, which obviously very frustrating. But they managed to postpone it to the November the 8th. So that just gave me more time to focus, more time to make sure I was absolutely ready. And then I tore my hamstring. Not even in training. All the stuff that I do in training, all the weights that I lift, all the movements that I do, it wasn't even in training. It was playing rounders. Got to stretch before any kind of sports. So yeah, I managed to recover from that and then build my strength back up, and it all looked like the competition was going ahead in November. And then the week of the competition, the government announced there would be a second lockdown. Yay! So that put an end to that. This time though, the lockdown was different, as you guys have seen. I still had uni work to do and I still had classes to attend. I managed to get hold of those lighter weights that you might have seen in my kitchen workout videos. And those weights were really good for my mini goal at the time, to do sort of a mini cut, to lose a bit of extra fat and get a bit fitter. But in terms of the competition, it didn't really help me. Then the guys announced that it would be postponed to the 20th of December. And finally, it felt like I might actually be competing this year. So during the travel window that the government put in place for students to travel back home, I managed to get back home from uni. I had a good week / 10 days of heavy, hard training. And then I had a few days where I just moved around lightly, did some bodyweight exercises, just made sure that I was still moving around, before 3 days of total rest, where I just got my mind into the zone, ready for the day, and got there, and I did better than I thought I was going to. I got there and I weighed in at just over 104 kilos, and they gave me the option of competing in the under 105 kilo category or the open weight category, which is what I'd originally applied for. I decided to just go for the heavyweight. That's what I've been training for this whole time. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to compete at the heaviest level, and that's what I did. Like I said, it was an amazing day. I had such a good time. Definitely will be competing in more competitions coming up. I definitely want to compete back at that gym again. Like I said, the guys did an amazing job and yeah, put on a really good competition. So hopefully I'll get back there at some point. But now let's talk about the competition itself and what went down. So on the morning of the competition, I arrived at the gym. I was one of the first people there, and I spoke to the organisers and referee, got weighed in, and then got this cool t-shirt from the guys, which we got to wear on the competition, which you'll see in the clips coming up. And then went through to the gym, looked around. It's a really cool gym. They've got lots of stuff there that I'd love to have access to all the time. I want to apologise now for the footage of the competition. I didn't actually manage to get any footage myself, so I had to go back through the live stream and screen record my segments. So there are some places where the connection wasn't great, so I apologise for that. Also, it was recorded on a phone, which was portrait mode, so you might see a lot of black space around here. You've been warned. So the first event was the axle deadlift for reps. It was a 60-second time limit with a maximum of 10 reps. So if you got 10 reps in under a minute, then the person who did that in the fastest time came in first, and so on. It was on an axle bar, which I've never used before. My first time touching an axle bar was on the day during the warm-ups before the event. We had 190 kilos on the bar. The rules were you weren't allowed any touch and go or any bouncing. You weren't allowed to drop the weight. The rep only counted if you put the weight back down on the floor. You were allowed to use straps if you wanted, which I did. And you had to wait for the down command from the referee before they awarded you the rep.
Okay, ready? Left!
Come on!
Down! One! Down! Two! Down! Three! Down! Four! Down! Five! Come on! Big push! Down! 25 seconds.
Keep it going.
Down! 7. You got 15 seconds. You're on 7 reps. Come on, 10 seconds.
Come on, last one.
Come on, boys! Okay, Jack got 7 reps. Next up is Joseph, that'll be followed by Ben and then Martin.
So I managed 7 reps on the deadlift, which matches the best that I ever did in training on a standard bar. I was really happy with that. In the warm-ups, some of the lighter weights were feeling quite heavy, so I was a bit worried, but once I got into the rhythm and everyone was cheering me on, as you heard in the video, I just managed to push through and get all 7 reps. The second event was the log lift for reps. Same sort of setup. If you get 10 reps, then it's the fastest time to 10. But if not, then it's the highest reps wins. Our log weighed 80 kilos. The rules were that you were awarded the rep as soon as you locked out overhead. But you then had to put it all the way back to the floor before you could start the next rep. So every rep was floor to overhead. You were allowed to push press, split jerk, whatever you wanted. They didn't really mind how you got the log above your head as long as you did, and as long as your feet were relatively square and you looked like you're in control of the log.
Ready? Left! Good! Jack, push! 20 seconds.
So again, first time ever touching a log of this size. It was really, really wide. I think it was 13 inches. My log that I have here is 9 inches. So a lot thicker, but I actually found that that helped with the clean. My cleaning I felt was really smooth, and I was a bit worried about this event because it hadn't been great in training leading up to the competition. But I managed to still get 4 reps, which is the best I ever got. So I was happy with that. It was a lot harder to press because the thickness of the log meant that you're a lot further out in front of you, and that's awkward to press. But I managed, like with the deadlift, I managed to get into a rhythm. My cleans were good. I wasn't wasting too much energy on the cleans, which meant I had a lot more power in the press. The third event was the yoke. Never touched a yoke before. You might have seen in my training I have those straps that I hang on the end of a bar, but there was nothing really that could have prepared me for the yoke. It was a different animal. It was 230 kg, which is heavy. But like I said, the guys there were super helpful. They helped me out figuring out what kind of height I should have the bar, where I should place the bar on my back, how to move, and I definitely wouldn't have done as well as I did without their help. So the rules of this one were you had to pick up the yoke, walk the 20 meters, put the yoke down, turn around, pick it back up and walk it back. It didn't matter how many times you put it down and picked it back up, as long as the whole yoke fully crossed the line. That's what mattered. So yeah, obviously I was a bit disappointed. I would have loved to finish the course, but I just didn't have it in me. I had one wobble on one side of my body and I just couldn't recover from it. Because of the swinging weight, as soon as you wobble, it just goes through your whole body. And I don't know what this movement is, but I'm going to keep it in the video. And it just really affected my performance. So I got to the end of the time and just couldn't get to the other line. But I've really learned how to improve on my yoke. In training, I'd had the bar placed far too low. I'd had it more in a squat stance. I need to have it higher to stop as much swinging and also to stop the bar slipping off my back. I also need to work on my stability because I had the power in my legs. It was just keeping still that was throwing me off. So I've learned some valuable lessons from that and I'll put that into my training. The fourth event was the farmer's walk, which I was quite looking forward to. I've been training it quite hard. Although I'd never touched any farmer's handles before, I do have a trap bar, which I've been using without straps, walking up and down the garden, as you might have seen in some other videos. If not, then you might want to check them out, maybe. So yeah, I felt like I was ready for the farmer's walk. The rules were the same as the yoke. Pick up the handles, walk 20 meters, put them down, turn around, pick them back up and come back. The whole implement had to cross the line both ways for the time to count. We had 105 kilos in each hand. I was happy and unhappy with this event. I was really happy because my grip was really strong. I didn't have any problems with carrying the weight, and the handles, they were really thin and really smooth. They had no knurling, so I thought they were going to be quite challenging, but my grip really held out and didn't feel like I had to drop the weight at all or put it down. The only thing that got me was that my lower back and my legs were so pumped up from the yoke that on the second lap, my legs weren't really moving. I had to put it down, readjust myself and get back at it. But super happy that I managed to finish the event. After the yoke, there was no way that I wasn't going to finish the farmers. The last event of the day was by far the most difficult, the most taxing. It really hurt a lot of people. Every single person after doing this event was completely exhausted afterwards. In the heavyweight category, we had 140 kilos on the sled. You had to stand at one end of the track with the rope and pull the sled over the line in front of you. Then you had to run to the other side of the sled, grab the handles and drag it all the way back. On the rope pull, the sled just had to break the line, but on the drag, the whole sled had to completely cross over the line before the judge stopped you. This was really, like I said, it was really taxing, especially as the last event of the day. My legs, my back, my shoulders, my arms were so pumped after doing this that I struggled to walk back to the other side of the gym. But yeah, as you can tell from the video, all the guys were super supportive. You might not be able to see from the video because you can't see my face, but I was really struggling, especially on the drag. And I really didn't feel like I was even moving at all. It felt like my feet were going up and down, but I wasn't actually making any ground. And then all of a sudden, the judge blew the whistle and I fell to the floor. Had to take a second to catch my breath, but I was alright after that. But yeah, I don't know if all those guys weren't cheering me on, I don't know if I would have finished it. So it really does make a difference having some supporters there to help you. So I thought, coming in as a lighter competitor in my weight category, I was going to do better at the moving events, but it turned out I was actually better at the static ones. So it's clear that I need to work more on my moving events for any future competitions that I'm going to do. But that's the whole point of doing competitions, is you go, you do your best, and at the end of the day you walk away, you know what you can do, you know what you're capable of, and you know what your weaknesses are, so you know what you need to improve on, ready for next time. And then slowly over time you just build a more and more perfect athlete. So at the end of the day I came 5th out of 5 compares, but I'm not bothered about that. It was quite a tight competition the whole way through. But no, all the guys that placed above me, they worked hard and they deserved it, and they're very strong, obviously. And they were great guys, they weren't super friendly. Hopefully I'll see them again at future competitions. Like I said earlier in the video, this has really made me realise that this is what I want to pursue. I want to be strong, I want to do more strongman competitions. So my goals for now are still to get a bit leaner, get a bit fitter, and then build my strength up and become the strongest I've ever been. I'm definitely from that one day became addicted to competitions, and will be doing more in the future. Hopefully the ones that I do later on will be able to have a live audience, but we'll have to see. Also guys, make sure you check out the team at Progressive Training Systems, Northampton. I'll put a link to their Facebook page below. And make sure you find the link tree below, which has all the places you can find me and my apparel company, Look Strong, Be Strong Apparel. And also guys, my podcast that I released last week is now available on lots of different sources, lots of different podcast platforms, as well as the video on YouTube. So make sure you check that out if you haven't already. Thanks for watching the video guys. Make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you share with your friends, and I'll see you guys on the next one.